Hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is my perspective. So today is going to be a little bit different. It is not about parenting advice. I am going to be talking about health. And for me, this has been going on for many years. I have looked at our family and seen like a lot of us have heart issues, high blood pressure, blah, 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 blah. And so a long time ago, I was looking and I was like, let me look into this. And I saw that a lot of it could be due to what we were eating. And so that led me to like, why do we eat what we eat? And of course, you know, it's like soul food type thing. And this is to my blacks. A lot of us eat soul food or say that soul food is like the scraps that we ate from our slave masters, things like that when we were on plantations, blah, 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 blah. But why would we want to continue a tradition of making do with eating less than the best? So, and especially like after you see generation after generation after generation with these same health issues. And so, I don't know, it just always made me start looking and wondering and everything. And so, you know, when you look at your spiritual side, it's like, man, like this is me here, but I'm in a physical body. So it's like, I'm in this physical body. Let me take care of this physical body. And for me, I do not like it when I don't feel sexy. And I am in the stage where I don't feel sexy. Like I'm not like what most people would call overweight. I'm overweight for me. I am less than 120, 120 pounds, but it's overweight for me just because that's not my average weight. There are foods that I eat that don't always necessarily digest, foods that make me bloat and just like not comfortable, not comfortable. And over the years, like I've tried just eating raw foods. Amazing. Okay, you're talking about energy. Like that gave me energy. And after I read it, after I did it, I was like, okay, so let me do some research to see why I have so much energy. And it was just like, you're eating life. It's not cooked. You're eating life. So when you eat that life force of that mango, of that coconut, of that lettuce, you know, when you eat this life force of this thing that is still alive, living, not cooked, not dead, not, you know, blood drawn out of it and all this other stuff like you do with meat, then it's just like, you're gonna have that life. And it was just like, man, like that is great. But for me, I was eating my butt off. Like for one meal, easy for one meal, I'm gonna do 6 to 8 mangoes. And I'm talking about the red mangoes. And then like we go work out, and after I finish working out, I'm coming right back and I'm eating again. So I definitely had to increase my eating. And I've never been one to count calories. So it was just me being mindful of, I'm eating, I gotta go to the store again, I'm still eating. So it was a lot of eating for me. I guess if I would have done smoothies, that would have helped. But when it comes to fresh fruit, I prefer to eat fresh fruit rather than stick it in a blender and put it into smoothie form. And yes, the window is open again today. And then I've also done, let me wait for this to pass. I've also done gluten-free. Yeah, way back when I did gluten-free, and gluten-free wasn't what I hear that it is today. I mean, you can go anywhere and everywhere and see gluten-free now, but I'm okay to not try it again. And the reason I say that, it's not to knock anybody who may be gluten-free or have to eat gluten-free or anything like that. But for me, when I'm actually listening to myself and listening to my body, I prefer fresh foods, like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. I do not like things that are processed or in boxes or things like that. With beans, I'll make an exception with that. With beans, I'll get the beans that are in a bag, like dry beans. I'm not getting the beans in a can. I don't get canned garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I don't get the canned that. Right now, I do like almond milk that's in the whatchamacallit, when you go to the store and get the almond milk, that I'll do that. And then I'm doing canned coconut milk. So those are things that I do, but I would really prefer not to do. As far as eating meat, like right now I eat meat just when it's like, I want something that's really savory, because I can get lazy and not have foods on hand. But can I go without eating meat? Yes, I can. I've always been one that can go without eating meat. Like in our family, it wasn't a thing where we needed to eat meat every single day. So my mother did not, like, she had us eat meat every day, but once we got older, it was like, we're not eating meat, or I'm not eating meat. I don't want to eat meat. And it wasn't anything that anybody frowned upon, like, you ain't gonna blah 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 if you don't eat your meat. Like, it wasn't a meat and potatoes type of thing going on. And so, you just eat what you feel like eating, eat how you feel, and all that. So yeah, I really do want us to consider our health. Like, I understand it may be cool or trendy or even hard to break the habit of eating the way you've eaten for generations and generations and generations. But look at your health. Like, at the end of the day, you have these dreams. I hope you have these dreams and aspirations and things that you need to knock off your list of things to do and things that you want to leave for further future generations and have a legacy and all these things. But wouldn't you rather do it being healthy rather than knowing that in our family, people die off at this age right here, or people get sick and they're not as mobile, all those things. Like, do what you can to keep your health in top condition. And for me, my body is saying, hey, Danielle, it is time for you to make that switch again. I've done it so many times in the past, and it's just time to really, like, be serious about it. Like, don't do it so that you are doing an experiment and seeing how your body reacts. I know how my body reacts. My body loves it. And so it's just, it's time for me to switch over. And while I'm doing that, I'm setting my goal to be for Mother's Day. Of course, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit there and chow down on everything under the sun. Like, I got some chickpeas in there that I've cooked, and I will be chowing down on some chickpeas. But I think for me, the reason that I go back and forth is because when I do decide that I want to eat the way my body wants to eat, I do not eat enough food. Like, right now, I'm not eating on a healthy kick, but I'm eating once a day. Sometimes I'll eat once a day and a snack, but that once a day is just because I'm not hungry. But even though I'm not hungry, I'm still not feeding my body what my body needs. And so it's just like, I don't know, I need to figure it out, and I need to be serious about it. But I need to get to a point where I'm feeling better about myself. I'm feeling like I'm getting that sexy back. And to me, sexy is knowing that my body is healthy. Like, people can look at me and be like, oh, she's healthy. But for me, knowing on the inside, I'm like, yeah, I'm not healthy. Like, I need to do better. And I always looked at that. I haven't been to a doctor in decades, just because, like, but when I did go to a doctor, like, I was in a group and there was somebody who was big, and their doctor was always just like, hey, you need to think about your eating and exercising, and going on a diet, and would always just like, hey, basically, you fat, you need to lose some weight. But then for me, like, I would go in, and I remember my weight goes up and down. And so my weight usually will peak off at like 110, maybe 112. And it'll go down to 104, 106, just depending on what, where, and when, how active I'm being, like what I'm eating and all that. And so I had gone to the doctor. Nothing going on. And I have these times where like people who know me know that I can go and I can eat just a little bit this day, this day, this day. And then the very next day, like I can eat. Okay, I can eat. I'm that small person that eats everything under the sun. And it's just like, where does it go? But so go back to that doctor visit. And so I went to the doctor and she did not ask me how I was eating. She did not ask me anything about my health or anything. She did some blood work and she was just like, hey, it looks like you need some vitamin blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, really? Because I was back then, I was like eating a variety of stuff. And so she was like, yeah, you're low in this vitamin. And she was like, rather than just taking like a vitamin once a day or something like that, which I don't do. She was like, I'm gonna prescribe you something because it's really low. Like your vitamin on this one is really low. And so I'm gonna prescribe something and go to the pharmacist, pick it up, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I go to the pharmacist and the pharmacist was like, hey, have you had this before? And I was like, no, can you explain to me what this is? And so he was like, well, so it's a mix of a couple of vitamins. Your body is really deficient in these vitamins and it needs these vitamins. Like you need these vitamins. And so it's at a larger dose and we feel that this is best for you in your situation. And I was just like, okay, thinking like my blood situation or something. I don't know. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And back up. Usually I don't take medicine. Like I don't even take Advil, Aleve, or anything like that. I don't take medicine. Even when my child was growing up, like I did not have medicine in the house. Like I didn't drink water, I didn't have anything in the house. And so I'm taking these because I'm like, she's making it like, okay, I don't want to scare you, but your stuff is really bad. And so, like I said, it was confusing me because I still was eating and it was just like, I don't know. And so I take the medicine, which were vitamins, but I take the vitamins and maybe a day or 2 days later, I am like sick. Like I'm telling you, I'm throwing up. I have diarrhea. I have the runs, everything. My stomach is like gurgling. And I was just like, what's going on? And so I was like, okay, let me finish reading. And so I had gotten busy. And so I decided to take the pamphlet thingy out that the pharmacist had put in there. That vitamin was straight up for people. It said that it was for people who have eating disorders and who may be anorexic or whatever. And I was like, this asshole of a doctor didn't even have the balls to ask me, like, do you have an eating problem? Is that why your weight is whatever? She just looked at my weight and then took my blood and assumed. Well, what she assumed ended up messing me up because, like I said, I don't have an eating issue or anything like that. So I'm taking these pills that are supposed to be for like anorexic people with eating disorders and who may not be getting their vitamins and stuff through their food. So I'm taking these vitamins, but I'm still eating like normal. And so when she was saying I was really deficient in those things, I thought it was really weird because like I was still eating fruits and stuff. And so with me eating my fruits and those things that had those same vitamins, I'm basically overdosing on the vitamins. And so it was just like, this lady, she could have asked me some questions. She could have been like, Danielle, like your blood test come back as this, your weight is showing this. Do you have an eating problem? Is there something I should know? And I would have been like, look, lady, like I weighed like 95 pounds until I was pregnant with my child. And then after I had my child, after I had my child, I was like 110, 115. And so that was like me jumping in weight from 95 pounds to that. While I was pregnant with my child, I was like 140 something. Like, is that food? You got food? Ooh, and icy? Ooh. I love me some ices. And so like I'm always like walking around with an icy. And yes, to this day, my child, she loves ices. I wonder where she gets it from. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I think that was so offensive because I did not have an eating disorder. I did not have anything like that. That was just my weight. My weight is like that. Like I've always been small. And so for her to prescribe me, vitamins that are really aimed to help people with eating disorders was really offensive. And it did end up having me, it's coming out both ends because I'm eating like normal. I'm getting these vitamins and everything. And so, yeah, what caused the deficiency? I don't know. And with her taking her method and just assuming and making an ass out of stuff, like I'm not gonna ask her. And that wasn't my first issue with a doctor. Like after I had my daughter, it was a couple of years after I had her, and my knee, I was having issues with my knee. Like I would sit down or squat or something, and my knee, and sometimes both knees, but really my right knee, it would just be like hurting, and like I need help to get back up. And I'm like, what's going on? And so I had gone to a doctor, and she was just like, oh yeah, that's common. That's real common. She was like, what happened is you just lost some weight. Like you used to be really big and you lost weight. And I'm like, is this half I saying this because she might see some stretch marks? First of all, I love my stretch marks, and I've always had stretch marks. Like I've had stretch marks since I was a kid, like a kid. And so it's just like me I've just lost, and I was overweight. And let me see. So yeah, I was 140 something when I had my daughter, but years have passed and I've been steady, and I haven't really lost any weight since her. And I have been steady about that 108-ish. Like I'm like, I don't know what was going on. And so she was just like, so take this medicine and you'll take one pill a day for the rest of your life, and you put this knee brace on. And I was like, the hell with that. Like I'm not taking no shit once a day every day for the rest of my life. I don't even take a leave. Like I'm not, no. And so I was like, whatever, thank you, and walked out. Didn't take her advice, didn't do anything because, she didn't take the time to get to know me. She didn't ask any questions. Again, she's assuming I just lost some weight. Like, I don't know where she was assuming and why she was assuming. Like, why can't I just be little? Like, she didn't see any skin hanging off of me or anything to be like, you just lost a lot of weight. Like, this is a common problem for people when they lose weight. And I'm like, that should have happened a long time ago, or if anything, my knee should have started acting up when I gained weight, because I'm putting all that weight on a knee, not when I lose the weight. Because yeah, whatever. Back to way back there. So we have in our family a lot of heart disease, a lot of high blood pressure, and it's time for me to make sure that I break that cycle and not be in that count. I'm going to listen to my body. I'm not going off of any titles and be like, I'm vegan, I'm raw vegan, I'm a fruitarian, I'm paleo, I'm keto, I'm running out of names, y'all. Pescatarian, and all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm going and I'm eating healthier, and yeah, that'll definitely make me get back to or move forward to a new me. Like I said, my goal is going to be to do all of this kicking off no later than Mother's Day as a gift to myself. And I will have this one stick. If I fall back or something like that, then cool, I'll just pick up and keep it moving. But this time it is not an experiment. This time it is serious. This is my life. Like I have things that I need to do in great health, not my back hurt, I'm constipated again, my stomach hurt, my everything hurt, like I need to go poop and I can't, like, I'm dehydrated, I feel like I'm about to pass out, like, all that. No, it's time to move on and be a new me. So I challenge you that if you have health issues going on in your family, and you're looking at all that and you know that it's there, be the one in your family to break that cycle. Just like, not me, no more. And yeah, make sure that you can live longer and do the things that you have on your list, like in good health. Nobody wants to sit there and, if your thing is to get this house and 7 cars and, 1,000 acres of land and whatever the case is, and you sitting there and you rolling around in a wheelchair, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but if you have a choice today to, if you have a choice today to look out for your health, then look out for your health. You don't want to be having the same issues and just be like, oh nah, we all get breast cancer at such and such a time, we all die of a heart attack at such and such a time, we all get our foot cut off at around, after we've been diabetic for X amount of years. Like, no, just go ahead and just break it. Like, it's in your food and it's in your lifestyle. Like, some of it is in your genes, but most of it is in your food and in your lifestyle. So be the one to show that discipline, to show that strength, that inner strength, and break that mold. Like, it's time to break out. It's time to do it. Stop holding on to that whole soul food thing. If that's what you holding on to is soul food and we eat soul food, because again, they were feeding us, they rejected foods. And so, we made do with it and we seasoned it and we made it good. But that's not where we are right now. Like, we have way more control and we don't have to go by that. And at the end of the day, it's like people like vegetables is nasty, but I think meat is nasty, because for me, I cannot think of any meat that I'm gonna just cook up and eat. Like, I gotta season that stuff. Like, you gotta season it. And for vegetables, a lot of my vegetables, there are some I can get away with and not season. Like, I might throw some salt on, if I'm cooking up some greens, then I might throw some salt on it. If I'm sauteing some arugula, things like that, then I might put some salt on it. If I'm putting a salad together, it just depends on how I am feeling that day. But yeah, I'll still do salt and pepper for the most part. But you can throw down with some herbs, especially like some chickpeas. You can throw down some herbs with them, but you can also eat them plain. But there's no meat that I'm gonna be like, ooh, let me try this plain with no seasoning. No, you need to season that. Like, even bacon come salt cured. Like, yeah, everything. So just look at your history. Look at your history. Look at, if you want to say that we are coming from Africa and we were brought here from Africa, then what do they eat there? Like, what's growing in abundance? If you want to say you came from a coast, not an inner country in Africa, but like a country that was on the coastline of Africa, look and see, like, what were they eating? What does their land look like? I mean, if they buy water, what is that? Like, I'm betting that they got like real green over there. Like, if you're somebody who believes that you come from, sorry for the background again. If you believe that your people were brought here from an island, like the Caribbean or something, what's going on over there? Like, so just look into it. For the most part, I would say you don't have to look into it. I say that inside your heart, like your body is telling you, something is telling you, especially if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling sluggish and things like that, you don't always have to look to herbs. Like, I'm all into herbs. But for me, I try to hold back on even the herbs that I take, even though I do try to take some on a very regular basis. I try to hold back, because what's the point of me putting these herbs in my body to help my body when I'm feeding it trash? And it's just like, my body's like, oh man, herbs, we gonna do good. And then I flush it down with some trash. Like, I can't feel anything. I thought I was trying to help cleanse your cells, but you put trash down. Like, no. So just do better. Do better, guys. Do better. If you want to see or hear how I'm doing on my journey, make sure you like this video, comment below, comment if you want to join me on my journey, if you're thinking about it. Like I said, if you want to hear more videos, if you want to see what I'm doing, all that, drop a comment. Oh, sorry, I thought I was going to end this. Another thing, so for me, one thing that I know, and this is an investment, okay? This is an investment. For 10 years, at least 10 years, I had a Vitamix. I don't know what you call it, but I had one of those things, one of those blenders, but then the motor went out. And so I went to go buy a new one and it didn't blend the same. But I've noticed for me, I won't even eat half as healthy as I used to eat, because like that thing is a game changer, like for real. Like it's gonna blend some stuff up in large quantities, and like I could sit there and drink on that and call it good. And so like I be watching my mama, I be stalking her on like Instagram, and you know, just be chatting with her and stuff. And sometimes I FaceTime, I'm like, hey mommy, what you doing? And she be like, drinking my smoothie. And I'm like, ugh. And so like I'd be like, man, I need to get back to that. So make sure, like, if there's something that will help you on your journey, like don't take the hard route. Like the hard route for me is like to not take this and invest in a Vitamix. And so I need to get me a Vitamix back in my life. I don't like the way that it's blending. Like these newer models, they have this wider base, and it's not necessarily getting everything blended up the way that I need it blended up, especially when I'm putting some herbs in my smoothies, because you know, taste is everything when it comes to that. But I think I'm gonna have to start somewhere. So at least let me give it a try. It's been a couple of years. It's been about 3 years since I've had a Vitamix. I still don't know how to call it. Like me and my mom, we call it a Vitamix, but we be hearing other people call it a Vitamix. But yeah, that thing, that expensive blender, how about that? That expensive blender, that's what I'm gonna have to get back in my life, because I'm being serious about my health, and it is an investment that I need to make in myself. So I don't go buy the fancy shoes and fancy clothes and all that. I don't go get my hair did. I definitely don't go get my nails done. So it's an investment that I can afford to make in myself. There's some more things that I have lined up that I'm gonna be doing for myself, because it's time. It's past time, and I'm going to celebrate me, and I'm going to celebrate myself, and all these little baby steps, every single step of the way, so that I stay motivated. And yeah, again, sorry that I did that preacher thing and kept going after I talk about the likes and stuff. But again, if you have any questions, definitely be sure, drop a comment below. Ask me a question if you want to watch me on my journey, or ask questions about me on my journey. Join me on my journey, anything like that. Just hit me in the comments below. Like this video if you like this content, if you like me, if you want to encourage me, and all that. And don't forget to subscribe to my video again, because it's me. And sorry, a gust of wind came in and shut the door. And then don't forget to hit that bell so you are notified. I mean, I'm gonna load something up every day if I can. It's you know, by my choice. I'm trying to upload a video every day, but yeah, still hit that notification bell so that you are notified as soon as this video uploads, and the next video, and the next video. Until then, I'll catch you later. Thank you so much for watching. Your views are appreciated. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.